Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a topic that's both fascinating and a little unsettling: dark psychology. Have you ever wondered how some people seem to effortlessly influence others, or why you sometimes make decisions that don't quite make sense? Dark psychology explores the hidden techniques that can control not only your mind, but also the minds of others. Whether it's in relationships, at work, or even in everyday interactions, these psychological tricks are more common than you might think. But don't worry, this video isn't about manipulation for evil purposes. Instead, we'll explore how understanding these techniques can help you protect yourself and even use them ethically. Let's get started. What is dark psychology? First, let's define what dark psychology actually is. Dark psychology is the study of the human mind and behavior with a focus on manipulation, persuasion, and control. It's often associated with negative intentions like coercion or deceit, but it's important to remember that these techniques are neutral. It's how they're used that matters. Think of it like a knife. It can be used to harm someone, but it can also be used to prepare a meal. In the same way, understanding dark psychology can help you recognize when someone is trying to manipulate you and give you tools to protect yourself. The power of anchoring. One of the most common dark psychology techniques is called anchoring. Anchoring is when someone influences your perception by introducing a reference point, or anchor, that skews your judgment. For example, imagine you're shopping for a new phone. The salesperson shows you a high-end model first, priced at $1,500. Then they show you a mid-range model priced at $1,500. Then they show you a mid-range model priced at $800. Suddenly, the $800 phone seems like a bargain, even if it's still expensive. That's anchoring at work. By understanding this technique, you can avoid falling for it and make more informed decisions. The art of framing. Another powerful technique is framing. Framing is all about how information is presented to influence your perception. For instance, if someone says this product has a 90% success rate, it sounds impressive. But if they say this product has a 10% failure rate, it suddenly seems less appealing, even though both statements mean the same thing. Framing is often used in advertising, politics, and even everyday conversations to sway opinions. By being aware of framing, you can critically evaluate information and avoid being misled. The scarcity principle. Have you ever felt the urge to buy something just because it's labeled limited edition or only a few left in stock? That's the scarcity principle in action. Scarcity taps into our fear of missing out, making us more likely to act quickly and sometimes irrationally. Marketers use this technique all the time to create a sense of urgency. But once you recognize it, you can take a step back and ask yourself, do I really need this, or am I just reacting to the fear of missing out? The foot in the door technique. Next up is the foot in the door technique. This is when someone starts with a small request to get you to agree to a larger one later. For example, a salesperson might ask, "Can I have just 5 minutes of your time?" Once you agree, they gradually escalate their request, like, "Why not try a free demo?" Before you know it, you've committed to something much bigger than you intended. By being aware of this technique, you can set clear boundaries and avoid being pressured into decisions you're not comfortable with. The power of reciprocity. Reciprocity is a psychological principle that makes us feel obligated to return a favor. For example, if someone gives you a free sample or does you a small favor, you're more likely to feel compelled to give something back, like making a purchase or agreeing to a request. While reciprocity can be positive, it can also be exploited. By recognizing when someone is using reciprocity to manipulate you, you can decide whether to reciprocate or simply say no. The halo effect. The halo effect is when we assume that someone who excels in one area is also good in others. For example, if someone is attractive or charismatic, we might automatically assume they're also intelligent or trustworthy, even if there's no evidence to support that. This bias can cloud our judgment and make us vulnerable to manipulation. By being aware of the halo effect, you can evaluate people more objectively and avoid being swayed by superficial qualities. And Sekuan, it's the fear, then relief technique. Another dark psychology trick is the fear, then relief technique. This is when someone creates a sense of fear or anxiety, only to offer a solution that relieves that fear. For example, a scammer might call and say, "Your bank account has been compromised." It's causing panic. Then they offer to fix the problem if you provide your personal information. By understanding this technique, you can stay calm and think critically instead of reacting impulsively. As for the power of social proof. Social proof is when we look to others to determine what's correct or acceptable. For example, if everyone in a group is laughing at a joke, you're more likely to laugh too, even if you don't find it funny. Marketers often use social proof by showing testimonials or highlighting how many people have bought a product. While social proof can be helpful, it can also lead to herd mentality. By being aware of it, you can make decisions based on your own values rather than blindly following the crowd. Attack the role of emotional manipulation. Emotional manipulation is one of the most insidious dark psychology techniques. This is when someone uses your emotions, like guilt, fear, or love, to control your behavior. For example, a manipulative partner might say, "If you really loved me, you'd do this for me." By recognizing emotional manipulation, you can set boundaries and protect your mental well being. Shot eat twalm. How to protect yourself from dark psychology. Now that we've explored some common dark psychology techniques, let's talk about how to protect yourself. The first step is awareness. By understanding these tactics, you can recognize when they're being used on you. Second, take your time. Manipulators often rely on quick decisions, so slowing down and thinking critically can help you avoid falling into their traps. Finally, trust your instincts. If something feels off, it probably is. Don't be afraid to say no or walk away. Conclusion: knowledge is power. Dark psychology is a powerful tool, but it's not inherently good or bad. It's all about how it's used. By understanding these techniques, you can protect yourself from manipulation and even use them ethically in your own life. Remember, knowledge is power. The more you know about how your mind works, the better equipped you'll be to make informed decisions and stay in control. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more content like this. See you in the next video.